Vivian's mother, Madam Stella, is her greatest enemy. And it's so painful that Vivian has not got to realize this. Because obvious, yes, we always believe that our parents have our best interest at heart. But then it's obvious that Vivian's mother is the opposite of this. She's a very manipulative, self-centered person who just cares about herself and how to satisfy her daily desire. Because how can a mother be this mean to her own daughter? And then this brings me to the question, is Vivian truly Madam Stella's daughter? Because I can't believe a mother that wants to use her own hand to destroy the little that is left of her daughter. Okay guys, in this episode we got to know that Vivian, Nick is not the only one that Vivian has swindled in the past. Vivian has actually swindled someone called Jeff. And we also got to know how much Vivian got from the 25 million naira that she stole from Nick, and how they shared it. So Vivian got 10 million naira while the mother got the lion's share of 15 million naira. So it was 60-40. Vivian got 40% of the money and the mother got 60% of the money. And then in the case of Jeff, they didn't share it. Vivian took the whole money to herself. So obviously, Vivian and the mother, they swindle, they steal for a living. That's what they do. And guys, is how this woman denied, Vivian. Like when the Vivian was complaining about Nick and the huge amount of money that Nick was demanding from her, the mother made it clear to her that she should look for the money and give it to Nick. And when she was like, "Mommy, don't you have any money to give to me?" She said, "Yeah, she has money, but she doesn't have money to waste." So something that has to do with your daughter's life and safety is waste. She doesn't even want to let out even the tiniest amount of money to help Vivian solve her problem. And then Vivian doesn't even know that her mom is her enemy. Now guys, they're thinking of how to get a substantial amount from Mark's account. Vivian already has the pin to that account, so she's thinking of how to withdraw money from the account and send to Nick. And apparently the people that she sent to take Mama's life are not having it. They want their balance back and not the rest of them. And Vivian is in a confused state, but then the mother is just looking for ways to make, in fact, she's that kind of, when you start doing something wrong, there's a way you use sin to cover another sin, and you keep sinning in the process because you always look for a way to cover the previous one, and on the process you continue to commit more sin. That is exactly what Vivian is doing right now. So she's going to take money from Nick's account to send, or rather from Mark's account to send to Nick, and then she's also going to look for a way to settle the people she hired to take Mama's life, because the mother advised her to settle them for her own life and safety. Well guys, that is it. Now let's talk about Vivian and Helen. Helen now got idea that whatever that happened to Uju, that Vivian is responsible, and Helen is not going to take it lightly with Vivian. Helen was actually making call with the police DPE also, and then Vivian was eavesdropping, and immediately Helen was like, "What is it?" Helen got to notice that someone was, listening to her conversation, and let us tell Vivian. And Vivian was like, is it? How do I know? Do I know if Uju is dead or not? And Helen was like, "How did you even know that Uju is no more and all that?" And then she looked for a way. Vivian is very smart, even though she's smart for the wrong reasons. She looked for a way to cover up, but at this point, Vivian, or rather Helen, has an idea that there are high chances that Vivian is responsible for what happened to Uju. Do you think that Vivian will come after Helen, knowing fully well that somehow Helen has an idea of what she did to Uju? At this point, I fear for Helen's safety, because Vivian might decide to come for Helen, knowing fully well that she's not aware of what she did, or has idea that there are possibilities that Vivian was the one that sent people to take Uju's life. So guys, what do you think about this? Aside that, guys, at the end of the day, I always said there are morals to learn from this series, and one of them is be able to have that discerning spirit that makes you understand the person that have your best interest at heart and the person that is just out there to, destroy your life. Because it's obvious that Vivian trusts the mother so much without knowing the fact that the mother doesn't have her best interest at heart. So guys, what do you think about this? Do you think Vivian is going to come for Helen? Do you think Helen's life is at risk at this point? Do you think that Vivian is going to send the money to the talk she sent to take Mama's life? And then how about Nick? Will Mark know that Vivian actually stealed or stole money from his account to send to Nick? Drop your opinion in the comment section. But before then, guys, if you like my content and you can relate to this kind of content, please do well to follow my page or subscribe to my YouTube channel. This singular act encourages me to put out more video. Thank you all for your love. I don't take it for granted. See you all in my next one. Dropping